Okay, welcome everyone. This is the second edition of In Pod We Trust, the best podcast, obviously. And today we're talking about aliens. Okay. So this is Aryan. He's gonna talk about the general history of aliens and how they're portrayed in pop culture nowadays.
Okay, so thanks, Herman, for the introduction. So the right terminology before we started using the word aliens, actually, if you think about it, we started using aliens in pop culture, in science fiction movies. But before
aliens.
yeah, exactly. The movie, the Predator, exactly.
So good.
Predator versus Alien.
Predator versus Alien.
That movie was such a huge hit.
It was fire.
It was fire, exactly.
I don't think so.
So before they started using the word alien, we used to use the word extraterrestrial life, which refers to life occurring outside of Earth, which did not originate on Earth originally. The Drake equation speculates about the existence of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe.
It's not Drake the rapper, right?
It's not Drake the rapper.
Okay, that's good.
Herman, if you don't mind, can you please pull up the Drake equation on the screen so we can show everybody what the Drake equation is?
Is it something like that?
Yes, thank you. So this you can see is the Drake equation. So as you can see, number of technological advanced civilization in the Milky Way galaxy, rate of formation of stars in the galaxy times the fraction of those.
For some reason, I think I've heard that. I don't know. I think Alp, if you guys don't remember, he was in our previous podcast.
Yeah.
And
He's unable to attend as he's going to France.
Wait, to explain it further. It means somewhat certain.
Wait, just can you put it to this one?
Yeah,
this
yeah.
looks more nicer if you literally.
Yeah.
Yes. So as you can see. Yeah, well, the text seems smaller, but it's similar to the above image that we showed you before about the explanation of each word in this equation, as I said. So as you can see, it's first the star formation, the solar system, the planets, the alien.
should we make it big, maybe?
Intelligent life.
Intelligent life,
Herman,
the size of their existence, then the period that their existence in.
Yeah.
Period that
That's
it
better.
can communicate across the space, and the number of civilizations are on galaxies. I mean, there are multiple planets, and we haven't really discovered all of them. And yeah, so thank you,
That's
Herman.
cool.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
Perfect.
So the science of extraterrestrial life in all its form is now known as astrobiology. It's been converted into a new science branch, which people can opt for. Since the mid-20th century, active ongoing research has been taking place to look for signs for extraterrestrial life. Depending on the category of search, methods range from the analysis of telescope and specimen data to radios used to detect and send communication signals. The concept of extraterrestrial life, and particularly extraterrestrial intelligence, has had a major cultural impact, just like how Davide mentioned Aliens versus Predator. The movies have
Been a huge success
they have,
in the
yes,
box
they have
office.
influenced pop
Very,
culture.
very successful.
So maybe you could say the movies maybe influenced even more than science actually did on what people view aliens.
Exactly. I would agree with that. That's
Many
what
people think
that's how the category science fiction for movies was created. If you think about it.
Many people think of the xenomorph from Alien as an alien. They don't think of the gray aliens with the big eyes.
Yeah, because aliens can be anything. They can be like small cells
But
and stuff
the
like
xenomorph from Alien is way more famous than what we previously thought of aliens before the movies came out about aliens. Yeah.
So over the years, science fiction obviously has introduced a number of theoretical ideas, each having a wide range of possibilities. Many people have had public interest in the possibilities of extraterrestrial life. One particular concern is the wisdom of attempting communication with extraterrestrial life. Some encourage aggressive methods to make contact with them. Others argue to do so may give away the location of Earth, making an invasion possible in the future.
Yeah, I heard that they send radio signals.
Exactly.
Right? That take
Trying to
millions, thousands of years. I don't really know about this that well, but what I heard is they send radio waves that travel far away in the galaxy, take thousands of years, and so humans are expected to get an answer in like 2,000 years or something,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
I don't.
they say that they should have a more aggressive approach to it. Like they should be ready if they're not friendly. Because I mean, look at aliens. When they came to the planet, they obviously killed humans and they wanted to have babies on this planet. But in some other movies, aliens are portrayed as nicer life forms.
Yeah, more
So we should
friendly.
be. It's better to be prepared for the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
So
I believe in other life forms on other planets, but certainly not the aliens, dangers that can eat you. Not those kind of aliens. Intelligent life, more like microscopic or microbes.
but if
something
you
like
think
that.
about it, intelligence can also lead them to why not experimenting on us as lab rats?
If these such creatures exist,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So, alien life such as microorganisms have been hypothesized to exist in the solar system and throughout the universe. This
Do you know
hypothesis,
where? Do you know where in the solar system?
they have hypothesized to exist in the solar system. It hasn't been confirmed yet.
Okay.
So this hypothesis relies on the vast size and consistent physical laws of the observable universe. I mean, think about it. The universe is pretty big. We haven't really explored the whole universe.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't
Not
even
barely. Not even
not
like a
not
fraction.
barely exactly. We haven't even observed. What do you say?
And the universe is expanding. ever
expanding exactly.
It
And we
always
have.
gets bigger.
I mean, we haven't even observed like the mass oceans of in planet Earth.
yeah, we have explored about like 5% of all oceans.
Exactly.
So there's still 95% left that could have all kinds of creatures.
Yeah, I pull it up right here so we can see it was just 0.0.
No.
Yeah. So,
0.092%.
okay, what percentage of the universe is observable then?
Yeah.
Okay, 4%. Okay, yeah. So it's like
So
very
basically,
little.
as you can see, we've only discovered 4% of the universe. The other 96 is undiscovered.
Undiscovered, and you never know what kind of evolutionary
Timeline.
paths,
Yeah. Like
the other planets follow. If there's planets that can contain life.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, according to this argument made by scientists such as Carl Sagan and Stephen Hawking the Great, as well as notable personalities
peace.
such as Winston Churchill,
Yep.
it would be improbable for life not to exist somewhere other than Earth. So, these three believe that there's definitely life outside of Earth.
Oh, that's Copernican revolution as well, though.
By-
Oh, that's
by-
true. Yeah.
I mean, you can see that these stuffs have been portrayed in movies also. Like the alien comes through a spaceship or an asteroid that hits Earth, then it starts
Oh
spreading.
yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, complex organic molecules may have formed in the protoplanetary disk of dust grains surrounding the sun before the formation of Earth and life, according to these studies. So this process may occur outside Earth on several planets and moons of the solar system, and on planets of other stars. Since the 1950s, astronomers have proposed that habitable zones around stars are the most likely places for life to exist. Numerous discoveries of such zones since 2007 have generated numerical estimates of many billions of planets with Earth-like compositions. As of 2013, only a few planets had been discovered in these zones. Nonetheless, on 4th November 2013, astronomers reported, based on Kepler space mission data, that there could be as many as 40 billion Earth-sized planets orbiting in the habitable zones of Sun-like stars, and red dwarfs in the Milky Way.
Also 40 billion habitable planets. That's
Yes.
insane. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. That's a lot.
So, anyway, 11 billion of which may be orbiting Sun-like stars. So, I mean, they have sunlight, technically. The nearest such planet may be 12 light years away, according to the scientists. Astrobiologists have also considered a follow the energy view of potential habitats. So, if you think about it, if in the future, if global warming, if we're not able to stop it, we still have 40 billion Earth-sized planets which orbit around the Earth, but we haven't really discovered if they consist of life.
I mean, it's the size is the least of problems. You need atmosphere and water and
That's true.
the
Exactly.
main components of life. The
Food,
size is like the last thing.
The
that you-
last thing, yeah, I agree. We
So-
need to, like, obviously we need first farmers to be able to farm there in order to start the chain.
And you would need
Right.
a system similar to the solar system, right? You have a very powerful star that brings light to a way smaller planet, and that's probably very rare in space. There isn't many things like the solar system and
Yeah.
like Earth. At least so far, what we discovered.
Yeah, that's
Well, we
like
know.
the what?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the perfect condition because like Earth is in the middle. If it would have been Venus and like the other one that's next to Earth, what is that one name?
Next to Venus.
No, next to Earth, like on the other side. There's like Venus that is closer, and then there's
Mercury is like the closest to the sun.
yeah because
Then
like
it's Venus, then it's Earth, and then is it just me where internet's not working?
It's working for me.
Which
For me,
planet?
it's working.
What's the planet after Earth?
okay anyway it doesn't matter because like Venus is really hot and it would never been able to like have the same life form as Earth and
I mean, technically, many people argued that Mercury would be the hottest planet,
yeah
but technically Venus is the hottest because if it's having like gas. I don't really.
yeah maybe
Which one is the coldest one? The coldest one. Which one is the one that's
it's Pluto I
coldest?
guess
Pluto,
because
I
it's
guess.
the most
I
Yeah.
mean, actually,
yeah,
no, it was considered as a planet before, but then
Yeah.
they
It's
kind
been
of
abolished in
stopped it.
2006.
yeah they
Yeah.
changed it
Yeah.
so what is it now Neptune or Uranus
Let's just find the.
No, it's a dwarf
I
planet.
don't
Yeah.
remember.
Me neither.
what's a dwarf planet no but what is like
It's
the
in the
furthest
solar
one
system.
I think it's Jupiter.
No
Maybe.
What do we?
Just pull out the.
Can you pull out
Just
a
pull out
map?
an axis of all
Axis of all
The furthest
Yeah.
away.
planets.
The furthest away.
yeah Neptune
It's
right
Neptune.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as
There we
you
go.
can see.
I put it up
Yeah, pull anyone. Pull this one. That was more clear. No.
This one's not clear.
This one's not clear. So, as you can see, we have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune.
Yep.
So Neptune's the farthest, so it should be the
It
coldest.
should be the coldest.
I think it is.
solar
And
system.
And the hottest, many people think it's Mercury, but it's actually Venus.
I didn't know that.
yeah
I actually found a planet that very similar to Earth. That's called Kepler 452b. If you can pull it up.
So
It's,
Kepler 452b is an exoplanet orbiting the Sun-like star Kepler 452, about 1,402 light years from Earth, in the constellation Cygnus.
Cygnus, yeah.
Okay. It was identified by the Kepler Space Telescope, and its discovery was announced by NASA on 23rd July 2015. That's
Look at the
actually very
temperature.
far.
Look at the
Yeah.
temperature.
yeah it's very far yeah
1,402.
But look at the temperature, -8 degrees. The
that's
average.
perfect though
That's cold, but it's perfect.
no but like compared to other ones
Compared to
it
other
could
ones,
be like
that's
minus
why
200
it's
you know
one of it's
Yeah.
apparently it's very similar to like Earth. In terms
Yeah.
of temperature, and
That's
it's
amazing.
it's a rocky
moving in
Earth-sized
tomorrow.
exoplanet. So it's very similar to Earth in terms of size. It's got a kind of cold. I mean, obviously the average world temperature is probably what, like 20 degrees, 15. I don't know.
yeah like 17 I
But
think.
yeah, but there is the average is
Like
minus
your
8, so it's a
bad
very
boys,
cold
like,
planet.
You get, on Earth, it's 0.9 degrees Celsius. Eh?
What? The
Yeah.
average temperature?
no that's wrong
It can't be.
Yeah.
Wait, pull it
no
up.
look
Pull it up.
yeah
It's
No, it rose. No,
Average,
it's 15. It's 15.
average
it's 15.
planet.
Wait,
average
It's 15
Earth
degrees. It's
temperature.
15. It's 15 degrees.
yeah
It's
15
It's
yeah
15 degrees.
15, yeah, it makes sense.
58.262
It's 15.
Fahrenheit.
And
14, yeah,
that's-
14.9.
It's 15.
It says right there.
Yeah.
14.9 degrees Celsius. Yeah, I mean it's
okay,
it's about 20
15.
degrees off, but I mean it's still a good thing,
So
and
wait,
it's
what
just
is it?
rocky. It's kind of rocky. It's a habitable zone apparently.
Yeah.
okay
So that concludes my part for the podcast. Now, Herman's gonna introduce the next person who's gonna talk.
yeah so we're gonna keep with the general flow so we're gonna because Ruben here is doing Area 51 and that kind of links in with popular culture
Totally
yeah.
not related to popular culture right now. No, totally not related.
okay
I've
let's
never
go
seen-
let's go
I've
Ruben
never seen-
it's your time to shine
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Area 51 is an area I'm sure all of you are familiar with. Yep. Are you? Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know
Especially
what it is.
Oh my
Okay.
god!
I'm joking.
And the picture Herman pulled up, it was
Yeah.
actually the one
The
used
raid.
for Area 51.
It's
Look
all
at
about
that.
the raid.
Oh, I love it. So nice.
I was actually I was there.
Can you pull out the Naruto guy who runs to the area?
Yeah, they were.
there he is the legend
Yeah, the legend. Look at him. Oh my
there
god.
he is
There he is. He actually did it. I can't believe it. Round of applause for him.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone's familiar with it, especially the raid that was in September. Yeah, so Area 51 is, it's a highly controversial area, and as a matter of fact, CIA didn't even recognize it until 2013. So prior to 2013, CIA would deny the existence of it.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't just say that it's restricted. They said it didn't even exist
Wow.
before 2013.
I didn't know that.
It was only 6 years ago.
yeah that's really recent yeah
Yeah.
Okay.
despite it being well known, like if you searched it up, it will come up. But CIA still denied it, which is crazy.
Maximum. So the maximum punishment is apparently 1,000. That's not too much. Or 6 months imprisonment or yeah.
That's a
Or
lot.
get killed.
6 months imprisonment. Yeah, or
That's
get
so
killed.
much, yeah.
You are allowed to get shot. Like the guards there are allowed to shoot you if you.
They're legally
legally allowed to shoot you. And you know the raid that happened. How many people died again? I don't remember.
13,000.
13,000. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Why would you die like that? On your grave, died because I
No
tried
one-
to raid
no
Area
one died.
51
Because no one
to
died.
follow the meme. What do you mean no one died?
No one
A
died.
lot of people died.
No, look, I'll put it up
Yes,
right
a
now.
lot of people died. I'm sure of it.
Wait.
Let's see.
Area 51 casualties. It's a meme.
It's not me.
It happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Look at that guy.
I mean, how many people died?
I think I have it saved on my phone.
Nothing, I guess, I'm telling you. Yeah, did anyone get hurt? Only 100 people like showed up outside the gates.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so like.
What is that? Okay.
Yeah, it was only like 20 people who got arrested. No one died.
Yeah, but it would. Yeah, okay. So nobody died.
No.
You're sure about it?
Yeah.
Because it's weird. I've heard. Well, I mean, at least there's a lot of there were a lot of people injured probably. Then. Maybe
Yeah.
nobody died, but there were injuries. No.
I don't,
Why are you laughing?
I don't actually think it was.
Men shot dead for trying to. What is it? For trying to enter military base.
What?
Area 51. Boom.
What?
Man was shot
Really?
dead at Area 51 in January after he attempted. Oh no, but it's not from this. It's not from this raid.
Oh,
It was
okay.
prior to
okay.
this, yeah. But they do. People do die.
exactly, yeah.
Because they're dumb.
You
They
should
want
That's
to
a good point, yeah.
Don't go to Area 51.
Again, yeah, security clearances are checked regularly. Cameras and weaponry are obviously allowed. There are a lot of security cameras. And due to how little we know about Area 51 has led to multiple conspiracy theories. There are a variety of them, including some examples are the development of weather control, that the government controls the weather from Area 51.
I think,
it's always-
I've heard about that,
They
yeah.
have remote control.
Or the development of time travel, but the majority are linked to aliens and UFOs. And the theory started in the mid-1950s, where many people claimed to have spotted UFOs around that area. And in 1989, a guy named Bob Leeser claimed to have worked at Area 51. He claimed that he worked at Sector 4, located underneath Area 51,
Yeah.
where he was working with UFOs, and he was a trained pilot.
So about the weather thing. So I put it up. It's apparently a government program, HARP, and it states here control ionospheric processes. So they try to alter the weather pattern. No, but this is actually it's quite interesting. But I don't know if it's actually true though. This is declassified document currently.
Can you pull out some pictures of like aliens discovered in? Oh, look who it is! It's all.
Hey.
You wanna join? You wanna join? Sure, come on, let's go.
Okay, so welcome back, guys. Out to join. He's gonna
Hello.
contribute a little bit to the discussion here. So
Aliens, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so where we guys left?
Okay, yeah, I can pick up where we started. I said, there's another incident about in 1989. There was a guy named Bob Leeser who claimed to have worked at Area 51. Just doing some recap for Al, who missed this. Who claims he was a test pilot for UFOs in Area 51. He claimed to have worked with an extraterrestrial being named J-Rod and described him as a telepathic translator. Ultimately, though, his fall was that he claimed to have graduated from both MIT and California Tech, which was quickly shut down as both universities denied him ever attending. And this led to most news outlets and people just like calling him a lunatic. Since he lied about the
unstable.
since he lied about the university. Yeah, but that was pretty much it. About the Bob Leeser guy.
And sorry for cutting you, but maybe you're gonna say this. But what was the United States Army like? What they respond to this as, or did they respond to it?
To Bob Leeser.
Yeah.
As I said, it was mostly a lot of news outlets picked this up and started writing about it. As it was like really interesting. But I don't think the military did anything because it didn't. It was so quickly shut down as the universities checked it. So it was like it was a quick thing. It blew up quickly, but then died pretty quickly as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that might be a big clue about if it's being real or not. About if,
Yeah,
if
the
the news
government-
is real or not.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like if it was real, then most probably CIA, which is responsible for Area 51, as I know, so as the U.S. U.S. Air Force, they would have literally terminated the guy that made probably this was populist. So maybe that might be a big clue if it was fake or not. But yeah, you can just keep going off from there.
And about the most famous UFO incident, the Roswell incident. Alp, you appear to be more knowledgeable about this. Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can begin. I can add on to it.
Yeah. So the Roswell incident was in 1949, which is the most famous. No, it was 1947. Excuse me. A United States Army Air Force balloon crashed in a ranch near Roswell in New Mexico, and following wide initial interest in the crashed flying disc, the U.S. military stated it was merely a conventional weather balloon. But this sparked a lot of interest. Yeah.
Did you guys ever heard about this, firstly?
No, never heard about it.
No, never.
I don't know much about the Area 51 business. Sorry.
So as I know, and as I researched actually over the summer, I think it was sort of thought to be a disc, but since UFO is unidentified flying object, so they call it a UFO, and you can open the photos, by the way. And then, according to the records that people gave to the newsletter,
That's alright. That's right.
the Roswell incident.
Okay, so what is it called?
Incident. Bro, keep this.
Oh my
exactly.
god!
So if you go to the news part, like for example, the news letter, this was one of the, in my opinion, one of the bigger events of that year, as it gave quite a good proof about if aliens and terrestrial life was really there or not. And there's actually some pictures of an alien being, surgeoned on. But here's the fact, I think, in my opinion. Again, I feel like even right now, when people say I spotted UFOs on Area 51, the U.S. Army kind of shuts them down, don't they?
Yeah.
So I feel like this might be kind of fake. If you go, do you see that picture?
No,
If you click on
this
that?
one.
Yeah. This was apparently the real photo of the alien that came out of the UFO.
That's crazy.
And the town people who lived there, after this incident, as I know, they started going around, they started going away, because the Area 51 was actually becoming a more conspiracy theory area, like more
I've heard
conspiracy
about
theories.
this.
But for this
I don't know,
newspaper,
I've seen this picture before.
RAF, it's like that's the Royal Air Force though in Britain.
What is?
Isn't this USA though?
What?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Wait,
That's the
what?
first time I see it.
Royal Air Force. No, what is it called? Like it's RAF though, right? That's
Yeah,
the
like
Britain.
the
No,
British.
Royal
British,
yeah.
Australian Air Force.
No, this is the British one. Wait.
RAF is Royal Australian.
Well, it might be
What?
actually Royal Australian Air
Oh,
Force, yeah.
okay. What is the
Um,
British?
What do you call it though?
Royal British Air Force.
Oh, that's like the okay. Yeah, it's just RAF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said RAF.
RAF.
I think I don't know if you guys will agree with my statement right now or not, but in my opinion, this might be kind of a misconception, as in that time period, people didn't know about like these flying, you can say some machines, these kind of
Yeah.
planes, for
Absolutely.
weather conditions, they get balloons and send them up to get some data. It might be one of those, but
I'm sorry, when did this happen again? What
Uh,
year?
1947.
yeah.
It's
So
actually
it's really
a long
old.
time ago.
Okay, yeah.
It's around like
Yeah.
70, 80 years probably.
We even does this have anything to do with Area 51 though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This incident was like, you can say so. It was the incident that made the peak of Area 51 because it was nearby Area 51.
So
this
made
incident.
people think
Yeah.
that Area 51 was
And then,
about aliens, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
apparently, according to the people there and like news and so on, people said that this alien was taken into Area 51 for further search, and that's how like the Area 51 aliens.
Mythos
and-
came.
Yeah, that's like the conspiracy theory began.
Okay.
I think we found the guy responsible.
Bro, there was
no political stuff.
There's no political stuff, Herman.
No, look. He's from Soviet Russia, right? Some of Soviet.
No, it might be. That's what I mean.
But as we said before, the Area 51 was confirmed by the CIA in 2013. So that was long
Yeah,
after.
it was because
Yeah.
the first few
Yeah.
years, apparently, like America was trying to hide the Air Force from the Russians, because there was like, at that time period there was like top technology, military, infrastructure going on, and now if they told to Russia that there was such a base, you can say, so we all know where that ended. Russia blowing it up probably.
Yeah.
So after the war between the two ended, then probably they decided to tell it out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Ruben, you want to continue? Or?
And that was pretty
Oh,
much
that was it.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So thank you from you guys.
Yeah.
Moving on to who else?
Yeah, I will go on my topic.
Hey, just so you know, I'm not talking about the pyramids after. It's
You're not?
stupid. It's so stupid, guys. Like honestly,
No, okay.
the guys the stuff that you guys are talking about.
Did
is
you
way
know
more
what
interesting.
the African tribes?
African tribe? Who's doing that?
African, my father told me, before like, in the beginning of humanity, like not the beginning, but like before technology came and so on, if you bring the evolution that we came from Africa and so on, African tribes were able to spot the distances of stars from their eyes without any technology, and according to some scientific research, there might have been some connection with aliens, which also have built pyramids and other mysterious structures in the world.
Okay.
But I don't know if you want to get into that because it's really, really controversial, like extremely controversial topic.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so
Yeah.
if we get into that, it's not going to be really solidified. You can say so conclusive at the end.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the next topic?
It's my topic. It's about ancient tribes, how they supposedly communicated with aliens through various substances, like drugs and stuff.
No, it's Charles Darwin, isn't it?
No, what?
Is it the Charles Darwin? It's the elves?
No, it's not. Yeah, it is a little bit of that.
Oh, no.
Look, it's gonna be really interesting. Wait for it, guys.
Okay. Yes.
This is Tarantula challenge.
Okay, so
coming up for you guys.
okay,
Fighting.
so ayahuasca. It's a mixture of plants and is prepared by a shaman in indigenous Mesoamerican cultures. So I can show you a picture of it. It's a mixture of two plants.
Do you know the plants?
Yeah, I will explain them later.
Yeah, I know this. They also many people take this to feel better about it. It's actually it's legal. Like it's
Yeah,
legal
yeah.
in America, and
Yeah,
you can take there's therapy groups with this herb, and you can take it to feel better about yourself, and if you're going through problems in your life.
Exactly, because like
I heard about this.
many Americans go down to South America and try this with.
Yeah. It's as many people say, it's quite a life-changing experience.
So it is drunk in healing ceremonies, and it means wine of the dead. So it's kind of interesting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is used to connect with a greater power, and it's thought to connect as well with primeval forces and your ancestors in general. And after it is drunk, there is a special phase called purge, where vomiting and diarrhea are experienced and are believed to be necessary to get the most out of the mental journey.
Sorry
They
to
said-
interrupt, but is it just me where everybody thought of the movie Purge? Where, like,
Yeah, I did.
No way.
Why?
haven't you seen the movie Purge?
I know, but like, what did he say that?
He said
Purge.
Oh, okay,
Purge.
sure. I
Yeah.
guess, yeah.
the killing
That was a
that
great joke, Aryan.
the country believes in you.
There is then a gradual shift, so this is after the purge phase. So there's a gradual shift in reality because of the perception change. You start to become more aware in the brain because it's the ayahuasca is taking effect. And a user may be shown figures, the elves, as so it's and also revisit the past memories as well, and it can be quite dramatically be shown their inner demons.
Is it Santa Claus's house?
No, this is actually true though.
Okay.
Is it proof?
It's proved.
Okay, sure.
People just go there and like they tell their own stories about it, and
But
there's
like, can you believe that maybe it's something that more drug related?
Yeah, it is a drug.
It is absolutely a
No,
drug.
but like a more negative side, like the drugs that we know.
No, this is a psychedelic drug.
It's a psychedelic
Yeah.
drug that doesn't have an effect on health.
It's like it's not like cocaine or something.
Yeah,
it's
or
a psychedelic.
LSD. LSD
Yeah.
is the most.
So it's not
famous.
addicting. It's not addicting.
I mean, see,
Or
Drugs are not.
See,
Drugs are not addicting, but people feel well about it, so they
Yeah,
do it
that's
again.
what I mean.
no.
That's-
Actually, when you do something new, and you like it, the chemical dopamine is released by your body,
Yeah.
which is the addicting chemical.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes you want to
More
go over and
experience
over.
that.
Yeah, exactly. That makes you want to experience that over and over. When you first try alcohol, oh my god, you feel amazing. The
So you try
dopamine
it again.
But
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Same as with your phone. When you get a text from someone, you feel good about it. You open the text, you want to check it out.
Yeah.
So that's the chemical dopamine that's released by your body.
But I bet.
Yeah, but you build,
Yeah,
and
it's
you
true,
build
but-
up tolerance. You need to take more and more to experience.
Yeah,
that.
of course,
experience
it's
that.
true, but DMT is like it's kind of different because it's not like the other drugs. It's a psychedelic. It's not.
There's
You,
so
you
many
don't,
like
psychedelics,
LSD.
yeah.
LSD.
yeah, but you don't
psychedelic.
experience pleasure with it though. DMT.
You don't experience.
Yo,
I
no,
think
there's
you
no. No, I just said like there's you see your inner demons. Is that pleasurable? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, because you can
You see, you have
you
visions.
you can have good
Like,
good trips,
like
right?
in the room.
Yeah. You shift your reality. You're like in a different world. That's what I mean.
Also, like metaphysics, you see the energy version of your current world.
It could be like I'm not sure,
Because
but like
when you say like your inner thing, that's mainly based on energy that your body has.
I'll,
Or it could just be
Can you
brain
pull it up,
tricks.
like,
which,
just
Yeah, or
DMT
it might be
experience.
brain tricks, which I think might be.
which is definitely what it is.
What's this spelled?
Brain tricks.
DMT trip.
So, DMT trip is said to have intense psychological effects, and in recent decades, the drug has been the subject of close scientific scrutiny. Little is known about DMT in the human body or what function it serves, if it naturally occurs within the body or where it comes from.
Yeah,
It
so
doesn't.
maybe like to explain more for you to understand, it's actually been proven in some studies, and some studies of also deny it. DMT is produced in tiny amounts in the brain. Actually, that's why you experience
Really?
the dream. Like when you're dreaming.
So
No
it's
way.
not-
Is that
Yeah, that's
true?
why.
That makes
No,
sense.
yeah. So it's like
It's-
a
I don't know.
intense dream that you're experiencing when you go.
But do you fall asleep then, or you?
Yeah, you do.
You fall asleep and you dream
Unconscious,
intense
yeah.
dream.
And actually,
Okay,
now,
okay.
now actually, you might be able to connect some bullet points with the fact that you said.
Mm.
Because,
Oh,
like,
here you go.
according to another recent study that supports that, that supports dreams, they said that dreams could be your versions in different universes. At this case,
I've heard that too. I've
yeah,
heard that
like
too.
this means that in some case maybe this drug might be connected to another universe of yourself where you see yourself only as an energy and as
Okay.
different bits. It might actually illogical, but
Yeah, but I mean, these are
Maybe.
theories. But
Yeah,
I mean,
like
theories can be
theories.
anything. You know,
Yeah.
and if anything, that we can. How can I say this?
Yeah. So should I like?
Yeah, you
Just
do it,
continue. Yeah.
Okay, so the experience can last from several hours.
It's like a nightmare.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Yeah.
And this is what you get by taking
Ayahuasca.
ayahuasca.
Yeah. Ayahuasca. Yeah.
So,
So-
the effects on the body, if you can say DMT, can have very intense effects on the body. Chest pains, agitation, dizziness, diarrhea, just like
Yeah.
Herman explained, and vomiting.
Yeah. Okay. So, could you like pull up some like traditional ayahuasca brew is made from two plants, as I said before, B. capi and B. viridis, and B. capi acts as a suppressant to the body's digestive system, so it doesn't break down the actual DMT that is in the other plants, and so it has more effect. So B. capi, the one that inhibits digestion in the body, that's the one that makes you feel sick. Actually, like you mentioned, diarrhea and stuff like that. You know? And after the DMT is absorbed, you start the journey. This is thought to be the real reason that people have dreams. So as I mentioned before, yeah. So to connect it with tribes, so ancient civilizations ritualized psychedelic drugs, especially ayahuasca, as I mentioned, and the priests, high priests, often took control of it, and it started off good. Then later it turned bad when they see the elves in the DMT trip. So I could give examples. For example, the Egyptians in the Bible, the pharaoh declared the babies to be intentionally killed, and which turned into infanticide. They were thrown in the Nile by the order of the highest priest, in this case the pharaoh. So it like these effects of the DMT can be real, like it can be devastating.
Wasn't there like human sacrifice?
Yeah,
by the
exactly.
pharaohs?
Yeah.
Like they would rip their heart out and offer it to the gods.
That was the Mayans. This is the. No, I'm gonna talk about that later. Actually.
Oh, okay, fine.
So this is related to Mesoamerican culture as well, as they were very bloody and sacrificed a lot of people when they built the temples. And one of these instances happened when the prisoners that built the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan, and they were executed after the construction finished. So this is like if you can pull this up, I have this. Just search up Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan.
Okay, well, who's
And
doing
then
that?
To the
And then like after prisoners were executed after that.
Prisoners were executed.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
So-
so while he's doing that, I have a
Yeah.
quick question.
Yeah,
Coming back to the elves that you said, did elves have a meaning?
that one, first one. No, the
You want me to go to the Wikipedia?
yeah, you can see it there. Yeah,
It's the real.
it's the real thing. Yeah. So if you read about it, it's an insane amount of number of people
So
killed.
human sacrifice as shown in the Codex Maglia Vecchiona.
Maya Bicchiano.
How do you know that?
Because it seems like Italian.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Can you say that again?
Maya Bicchiano. Maya Bicchiano.
Maya Vecchiano, folio 70. Heart extraction was viewed as a means of liberating the Isli and reuniting with the sun. The victims transformed heart, flies, sun were on a trail of
Yeah,
blood.
that's what you said previously.
Yeah, the human sacrifice, exactly.
With the heart extraction.
Yeah.
So it's actually insane. 80,000 people were killed after the Finnish
But
construction,
wait,
yeah.
how would they choose who to
80,000.
sacrifice?
The one that built the thing, the prisoners.
Oh,
So
so all
really
that
hard
hard
to
was
get
just to
killed.
get their heart ripped out
Yeah.
of their
But-
chest.
No, but what the crazy thing is, it was believed to be, liberating. It was good to be killed this way.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was a
Brainwashed.
reward instead.
Prisoners were brainwashed that way. They were
Yeah,
taught.
kind
They
of.
were taught that it was a good.
So-
it was a
Yeah.
reward that you were
Okay.
killed.
So imagine if I'm a worker at that point and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. So is there any way I could not do?
I don't-
Yeah, you just get killed earlier. That's
Yeah,
it.
probably.
So, there's no way of survival.
I'm not sure, but they thought the death was good though. That, as I said before.
But if a worker didn't have that mentality of
Yeah,
that death is good, then what would happen? Obviously, he would be still forced to be killed.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, yeah.
But maybe people thought that being killed for not wanting to work was a shame, while being killed, being sacrificed after you worked was an achievement. That's
Mm.
why people maybe worked.
You could like there was actually these kind of people, the Aztecs, who also played football games,
Yeah.
and the winning team, what happened to them? The best person that scored the most goals were killed, like
Decapitated.
yeah, decapitated, yeah, exactly.
How is that even a reward? I wonder.
It was like considered a reward. I don't know why,
When,
but
like what?
this was very like 200 years ago. Like
You
300
wake up
years
in the
ago.
morning just knowing that if I win the match, I get decapitated. Oh my god!
Well,
let's do
it
this.
definitely wasn't.
Like you
football.
weren't killed, but that was considered like bad,
But
Like,
it definitely,
people wanted to
definitely
be-
wasn't football. It was some sports.
No,
Yeah.
it was football though. Like pull it
can
up.
be football.
It was played with so this is actually interesting. The ball was the previous guy that had been decapited's head.
What's
No
the name?
way.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's so
Aztec
disgusting.
football. So the belief that decapitation and everything was was good for the players.
Yeah.
It stemmed from high priests actually doing DMT and using these psychedelic drugs to see these out of world experiences and told them that you should sacrifice people for this. So it stemmed from all of this. It's kind of it's very interesting.
Wow.
Actually. Yeah.
So it all comes back to DMT in a way.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, bloodletting, and it was also it was a regular part of ritualistic culture in Mesoamerica, and particularly the
You
Maya.
want me to put it up?
Yeah, sure.
Spelling?
Bloodletting.
Yeah, because
MASO.
it's common today as well. Bloodletting just means like giving blood.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it was used
no,
on.
this is self-sacrifice. Sorry.
It was used on the soft parts, especially the tongue and the penis.
Oh, but that's the Aryan, that's the picture.
Where the
Here, this one. Here you go.
So you can see the tongue there, right there. So the blood that was they came out of this was then burned and then smoked to get high of like some kind of experience,
How did you get high of blood?
penis
Wait, I have a
blood,
question. How is this related to aliens?
Yeah.
No, because look, DMT is used to communicate suppostly with aliens.
Explain
The
that.
aliens are the ones that telling them to sacrifice people and stuff like that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Really? That's how you connected to aliens?
No, but it's true. That's what it says.
You know what? We can call this podcast like aliens and like psychedelic drugs or some shit like that.
Yeah, but psychedelic drugs are used to see aliens, like actually see them.
No,
We can never
explain
see.
that bit. How the dumb
Okay,
they see aliens.
Malfunction people, please don't record us.
Oh, there's apples.
Who brought apples?
It's mine.
Yes, alright.
So look, his plan to help humans explore high dimensional spaces, which he claims may be populated by aliens and godlike entities, through the use of psychedelic medicines. There's not a lot of scientific research done about it.
I mean, there is basically no scientific evidence for any of the stuff that we're talking about. These are just theories.
Exactly, because you
Yeah.
can't really go in, a scientist can't really go into
Yeah.
take the actual drug,
Yeah.
It has to be controlled and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that way. So there's also this scientific thing that's actually done on. This is actually like a scientific thing, and it confirms that the things I've been talking about, hallucinogenic drugs in pre-Columbian Mesoamerican cultures. So you can read the stuff you're interested about. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Wait, isn't there like this event or festival that takes place like the Day of the Dead?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
in Mexico.
it's very famous.
The Mexican, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, it's very connected.
Yeah, it's like where the dead comes alive and the people who've lost family members can actually get a chance to talk to them. But it's not really. It's not really. It's not really proven.
It doesn't
Does it?
involve by us.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No.
But we're gonna call this aliens
Yeah.
And DMT.
and DMT. Yeah. Aliens, psychedelic drugs, and Area 51. There you go. Area 51.
No, just aliens and DMT is good. These are very
Aliens
like.
and
Which
DMT.
example of which examples of aliens do you guys give? Please don't say on the Area 51.
We said Area
Pyramids.
Roswell.
They went to-
That's it. And then
No,
we talk
horror,
about
horror,
generally what
bro.
Area 51 is, and we connect it to the meme of this.
Should we also do Phoenix lights to make it more balanced out?
They were there. They were there the whole time. Just hiding behind the pyramid.
Is that one?
Is that one the
We found it, bro. Yeah, over there, down there. Triangle, bro.
Top 10.
No, but look, you can actually make the argument. You could actually make the argument though. Look how huge these structures are. Could this really be built by Egyptian slaves alone?
That's what we have been told.
That's
That Egyptian slaves built it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you said 80,000 people were killed after this was
But
built.
that was a
No,
much
but-
more smaller one.
No, but that's in South America, not in Egypt.
That was like much smaller than these ones.
Yeah,
It
look,
took
look.
years for these pyramids
But
to be
it-
built. So
Yeah, Herman might have
Humans
a
are
point.
capable
You said
of
you said it
aliens.
only took 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, only 20
Yeah.
years.
guys, can we talk about alien sightings?
The-
Alien sightings are way more interesting.
Okay, I have two topics for you.
What about the Phoenix? The
Yeah,
Phoenix.
that's one. Another one is the actual like from International Space Station. There was
Okay.
two sightings.
Did aliens actually build this? The only evidence, the only argument is that, could Egyptian slaves really build these huge structures? And right here it says 5 million tons is the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Okay.
So it's and it only took 20 years, as Ruben said. So it's kind of.
That's
I'm not
why
sure.
some skeptics
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that aliens might have built the pyramids. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, think about it. Like, there was even if I don't know how many slaves they must have used, but thinking about it,
More than like 20.
obviously
I think so.
Obviously more than 20. At least what? In
Bunch of
thousands.
hundreds,
Maybe-
thousands.
But if you think about it, obviously slaves can't work 24/7. They obviously they're gonna need break and all after working. But I mean, they were slaves, so they kind of had to keep working. And they would get only 2 meals a day.
Yeah. They were very badly treated.
Exactly. So thinking about it, 20 years might not seem reasonable, but with the right labor force, it can.
It can definitely happen. Okay, let's just wrap this up.
I mean,
to wrap this up, we thought it was a good idea to talk about Phoenix lights, which are
And the similar lights that were
which
Yeah.
are a very famous alien sighting, which is kind of for our alien themed episode. And I mean, there was a movie that came out about this, Phoenix Forgotten. I think it was last year or something. If
I
I can
think-
pull it out.
No, here's the thing. I think this Phoenix lights are a bigger proof than the Roswell.
So this one.
Because this
Yeah.
event was seen by probably bunch of 100,000 people, as well as seen in multiple zones of America.
So what happened? Different clothes were. It seems like a different day. Well, it is because our camera died on us, so we had to shoot on a different day. But we'll continue with the same topic that we had before, which was Phoenix sighting.
Yes. So the Phoenix lights. So as you remember, Roswell was also spotted in New Mexico, and
The
Nevada,
Roswell
you can say
sighting,
so. And also the Phoenix lights. Apparently, they're also spotted in Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico. So as you guys can see, probably it's a really awkward shape. And to be honest, I don't really believe that those could be planes. So as probably other bunch of 1,000 people. Because if you actually go to YouTube, you can see people actually calling cops and talking about this event that's quite unknown due to the dark sky. But what do you guys think on it?
I just think it's just stars lined up. That's could
Yeah.
be
Stars lined up. They
I think
move. They're moving.
The stars are aligned,
Have you
bro.
never
The stars
seen
are
it?
aligned.
It's a coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
Yeah, stars are aligned and they move.
Okay, I will tell
Have you
all
never
knowledge.
seen like a broken star like this, like just moving in the sky?
Yes, one, not 6 of them moving at the same time.
Why
And
not?
they're flying. They're moving slow.
Everything can have a first, Davide. I mean, come on, it's like a once at a time. Everything's a first, so that might be like the first
No,
time we've seen
those-
6 as a thing. You know?
6
I totally
six
regret
stars.
that. No,
in
it
one
can't
at
be
once.
something like.
I don't believe it.
Even if it was an alien ship, nothing happened that day. No missing complaints. No nothing. If they want to come to our planet, then you have to do some type of incident in order to like experiment
How many
with
movies
us.
do you watch?
How many movies have I watched? No.
I used to watch this movie, Aliens in the Attic. Have you guys ever watched it? It's like this really stupid movie where they find aliens in their attic. Wow. It says in the title.
Honestly, come on, like
So
think,
Aryan
think
watches.
about it. Don't you think they'll be curious that they wouldn't want to explore
Yeah,
the world?
it's true.
Obviously, they're gonna land somewhere, but
Aryan.
nobody reported.
What
Like,
if it was just an
Aryan.
observation, like, they just came to
Or
observe?
maybe remember.
I have a definition for
Ruben, you
this.
remember for TOK,
Yeah.
right, for when we had that video based on memory.
Yeah.
And you know how that girl described that man as the same man, but it wasn't the same man.
Yeah.
It can also be that the people's memory maybe it's a little
Exactly.
blurred.
You shouldn't trust your
blurry,
memory.
You can't trust your memory honestly, unless that woman spoiled a man's 20 years career. That guy lost his girlfriend, lost his job, lost everything just because she said, "I am damn sure in the court that guy is the victim."
She was definitely lying, bro. How
It's
can you
the-
be
you
damn
know-
sure?
No, but it's not her fault. She was the victim. She had no
Yeah.
other and
Yeah. Why would she lie about that?
Yeah, why would she lie about that?
Okay, I get it, yeah.
Okay, I'll get.
But
on
there's
topic of
a
2K
videos.
now.
There's videos of the
I mean, if
objects
you
flying.
can you play the video of those Phoenix lights moving together in one way?
No, I think I have a quite solidified argument for it, but they can't be stars. I'm like 99%
Videos.
sure about that.
I'm with you. I'm
Like,
sure about that.
I know from my astrophysics knowledge and my observations, it's impossible for stars to be like.
I know, from my astrophysics knowledge, it is practically
Can you
Apollo 11,
skip
bro.
the
It's
ad?
Apollo
Skip the
11.
ad. Skip the ad. Yeah.
Just skip to the parts where you see the lights, okay?
16 p.m. reported that the
This
first
video is
It's 24 minutes! It should be a 20-second video! By the way, I think it happened in 2007 and 2008
Yeah,
as
there's
well. Not just
not
1999. Not just 1999.
This one, 314 maybe.
Oh, that one maybe.
No, I don't think so. Wait.
21 years. Yeah, it could be.
Unexplained mysteries of our time, at least here in Arizona.
Yeah.
Today marking 21 years since the Phoenix lights
There you go.
first appeared in the sky. To this day, nobody really knows what they were or where they came from.
But they're not
Yeah, but-
moving.
This weekend
It's not
you can
moving.
relive the phenomenon
How's that moving?
with
Yeah,
a
we're
documentary
They weren't moving.
airing right here.
The
in
movie
Arizona.
is-
Wait, where are they moving?
The camera was moving, but they're not moving.
The camera
The camera is shaking, but it's not moving. So that's very different. Like what you're saying, it's moving.
Let's skip ahead.
Nobody.
Is that the whole video?
So here are
Yes, you see something else.
Okay.
who are law enforcement.
Damn, that is weird.
As well as
Oh, they're moving.
These cannot be stars. They can
They're
be
not
this
moving.
bright and
And
this
this
close.
big.
Yeah,
What
they,
the
it's
hell?
like if those were stars, they would probably been for the gravitational.
Fire in the
But
sky,
if
that's
you play
another
something
one
like-
here in Arizona as well. Absolutely.
Planes,
And,
like-
Because people have
No,
this.
no,
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 but the
no,
thing is,
no,
plane
no,
lights don't
yeah,
have
right.
these many.
Okay, it can be
It,
like
it
No,
can
Aryan.
be. It can be
Aryan.
like
It can be
one
like
or
a
two.
UFO then.
Aryan.
Yeah.
There were some more videos on those. They were triangle. This one is
Yeah,
like,
they describe it as triangle.
yeah, because remember, like I think they moved after the purpose. They were triangle and they spread it out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
If I remember the video.
The
right.
lights moved in a triangle shape.
And then they were spreading out this part.
Which
of the
means
video.
that could be a giant ship with in a triangle shape, or it could be very small ships with each like a light in front of them, and they're still triangular shape. If you look it up, Herman or
But Aryan, I'm completely disagreeing with the stars argument because if the star was that close, that bright, and that big, we all would probably be dead.
yeah, but it could just be military jets.
Yeah, no. About military jets part, there's a quite a high chance they might be, but I'm still curious because normally military jets don't have that high amount of light spreading out.
You mean
if
they
they're
don't have
like-
a high amount of lights, you know?
Yeah, like they don't have that much light, and you know there's.
They could have been flattered.
Yeah, they ran like a
Fighter
single
jets.
file fighter jet.
They could have. Yeah, exactly.
Or
like,
a
they all, most of the
fighter
time,
jet.
they also travel like in a triangle.
Why wouldn't they confirm that it's a fight? a fighter
because
jet, though.
if it's a fighter, there's a difference. Because
I mean, why does the army share that?
Yeah, because it's secret. Because probably in like normal fighter jets, it's almost impossible for them to have such high amount of lumens coming out of their lights. They don't need that much. Even like the bigger airplanes,
It's always a triangle.
they don't have them also.
See, look at that. That's
Yeah.
like a triangle form.
They move in a triangle.
Look at that.
Yeah, but they don't have giant light in front of them.
Yeah, that's the problem. Their lights are very small.
Yeah,
They don't
they're
need- you
supposed
know,
to be
If it
camouflaged.
was,
Yeah,
it would
exactly.
be. Can you click on that picture? The one in the middle? No, not the one on the right. Yeah, that one. Yeah. See, the one of them has a triangular shape.
But we have no confirmation of it.
Yeah, so it's I'm saying it's rather like some kind of secret
Huh?
U.S. Army Air Force file
Wait a minute.
that they didn't really tell so,
Yeah.
or it's very like a I don't know because we can count as a UFO because UFO stands for unidentified flying object. So for us in this scenario, it's a UFO, but we don't know if it's from outer space or from the.
I feel like it's more of this different object than just one because they you see the video and they move at different speeds and it doesn't follow one like pattern, you know. So it doesn't mean it means
There's
it
a
means
bunch
it
of
wasn't
documents
attached.
there.
It means that the lights weren't attached to a big object.
Okay, so well, a similar vessel was seen from an astronaut in the International Space Station. Maybe you guys heard it or not.
Yeah.
But he reported this event to NASA, and then NASA responded as saying that it could have been boats with high lumens on, which could be fishermen trying to capture fish in the Atlantic Ocean. Since you need to have a huge amount of lumens to
Yeah,
be
but
able to
like,
get to
how's
big
that
areas.
possible? Like, we saw like it was 6 lights at least. So like, you're telling me like 6 different fishermen were like
Yeah, because
close
the
to each other because that way they would like kind of like interfere in their catching of fish.
And why was it in the sky? Like how could you see lights in
I
the
don't
sky
know.
and not in the sea? Like
They said it could have been reflections, but it doesn't seem too logical in many
No.
senses. But like, I feel like they were just really like lying out to cover up the aliens or
Yeah.
something like that. Like
I
I don't
see.
know though.
Probably.
what about their shape? Like how are they?
Or it was really similar to Phoenix. It was like a V shape again, with like 6 or 7 lights in that shape. It was really similar to it, so that's why.
I agree. It sounds really outlandish that it could be from a fisherman. It sounds like a cover-up story. But I don't know. I don't work at NASA.
Yeah, me neither. So we can't literally say anything much. So I mean, Herman's the only one missing today, as you can see.
So guys, that was our podcast today. This was Herman's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, just give us support and see you next time. Okay,
Thank you.
bye bye.
If it's 20 minutes,
That was good, guys. It was effective.
So I did not do my research. Extraterrestrial life and narrower search for extraterrestrial.
Oh my god!
It's fine.
How many?
It's fine. It's fine. It's continue.
How many extraterrestrial life, intelligent life have they fucking put on this fucking
Okay. Wait. Like how long is it?
Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and
Uranus.
you're so immature.
Uranus.
Uranus. Uranus. No, Uranus. It sounds like you're saying urine.
Yeah, you're in the nuts.
Uranus.